Well, Shields versus Hammer, now in the record books. It was a great fight, great night of boxing. I love the fight. It turned out pretty much as I expected it, except if you see this post here, I thought it was going to end in an overhand right. I thought Shields was going to knock out Hammer with an overhand right, and she almost did. But Hammer spit out that mouthpiece and they stopped the action a little bit. She did the old Diego Corrales trick, when hurt, spit out the mouthpiece. Your corner man, if he's smart enough, takes some time, walks over, washes it off, puts it in, gives you a little bit of instruction, and you go back out there and give it your best. So, but other than that mouthpiece, if she didn't spit out that mouthpiece, I'm sure that Claressa Shields was going to knock her out. I really did. And I saw that knockout coming because Hammer's a very straight-up fighter. 1-2 at head level, nothing really down to the body, no uppercuts. No hooks to the body, really, even though she threw a left hook to the body later in the fight. But when she throws it with her chin and her head straight up in the air, still on the center line. So if you throw a looping punch, it's going to catch her if she goes down to the body. But it was a great fight. It was a really great fight, man. And Claressa Shields is amazing, and I think she may be correct when she says she's the greatest woman boxer of all time. She unified that middleweight. She unified it. So, I give her all the props. It was an interesting fight. Hammer, I must say, she was in New York training the last week. Met her once or twice, bumped into her. She's a nice girl. But I think she needs to get an American trainer, a U.S. trainer to teach her the slickness. Like tonight, a lot of people said Claressa Shields' defense looked slick because she had good head and torso movement. And I give her props for that, but I would say that's kind of not easy to do, but it's easier to do against a fighter like Hammer. That's a basic 1-2 fighter that's coming for your head. Oh, and another reason I said she was going to get knocked out with that overhand right is because she drops her hands after every punch. She doesn't bring it back on a straight line to her cheekbone to cover her jaw. After every punch, even a straight right, Hammer drops that hand. And that's why I say she needs an American trainer, like a Buddy McGurk or something to tighten up, or Jeff Mason, actually. Jeff Mason, that's on our channel. That gives you check out Jeff Mason for sure. The Fundamentals of Boxing, Part 1 and Part 2. She needs a guy like Jeff Mason that would tighten her up. Tighten up her jabs. Make sure she's bringing her hands back up high. Make sure she mixes it up and goes to the body without leaving her head on the center line, stuck in the middle of the air. Make sure she doesn't back straight up when she backs up, standing up straight. That's why we call it the overhand right, because she backs straight up with her chin in the air. When she comes forward with a jab in her right hand. And if she misses, she comes forward even harder, which makes her even easier to get countered. And I think she needs to come on home, train with Jeff Mason, and learn some of those fundamentals of boxing. I think because she is a good fighter. Her jab is incredible. Claressa Shields said tonight that Hammer's jab was amazingly strong. She has a good right hand, but sometimes trainers can only take you to a certain point. And I think she reached that point with her trainer. She needs to come on home to the United States, start training with some American trainers, learn the little nuances of going to the body, not rushing in when you're punching. Because she was just straightforward the whole night with her punches and came in really aggressive. If she would have jabbed, stepped back, let Shields throw a counter, then she could have countered the counter. And she could have been more effective than she was tonight. But you live, you learn, you fight the fights and you learn. I think it was a great fight for women's boxing. It helped women's boxing a lot tonight. The fight tonight definitely helped women's boxing a lot. But I think it may have hurt women's boxing as well. And the reason I say this is who else really is there to fight? You see, Clarissa Shields had to call out Cecilia and go down another weight class to fight her because there's no one left for her at 160. So she's going down. Normally a champion goes up, but she's going down. And I don't think there's that many great fights to make in women's boxing. Even though there are great fights to be made, but there are not that many great fights to be made. If that makes sense? There are good fights that could be made, but not that many. And I love women's boxing. I'm glad they had 2 women in there put on a show tonight. You know, it was a woman referee. I mean, this was an all-around great night of boxing. And I hope some of you guys don't do that sexist bullshit and really appreciate what we saw tonight. Because what we saw tonight was amazing. What we saw tonight, I would have to describe it as Kovalev War 3. It definitely looked like Kovalev War 3, a slick boxer versus a European-style boxer, straight up 1-2. And it was incredible. I want you guys to like, comment, let me know what you guys thought about the fight. And please, please, please keep supporting female boxing, women's boxing, because they train just as hard as the guys do. And we got to show them love, too. I'm out, guys.